and I guess as people have heard about, okay, so it was interesting, thanks Gary, the meeting we had in Sydney, I won't tell you how the vote turned out. I will say from my point of view that I want to be guided by what the constituents here want to see. I certainly know from the Chamber of Commerce that they believe that the extension of the runway will bring great benefits to this part of the world because we'll attract more tourists, we'll be able to get places faster, and I'm concerned about the noise and the effect in the community. The airport authority people point out, and they're right, that the noisiest plane that lands at the Sydney airport is the oldest one, that's the Purolator courier plane that makes a huge racket, and the more modern jets will be acquired. Of course, there's a lot of other issues. So I ended up, as Gary said, we're both doing our due diligence and staying pretty neutral. So just to see how many people in this room would like to see for the you know, given that we don't have that much money, and I'm also, one of the things I said the other night was, I think there are more pressing issues for infrastructure funding. I'd rather see light rail between Swartz Bay and Victoria or some other fast way of moving. But here we go. How many of you would really like to see the funding to have the airport extension, the expansion of a new runway? Okay.
Vis-a-vis versus?
No, just how many of you want it. We don't have another option right now. That's what's being asked for by the airport authority, by the federal government. How many of you would rather not see the airport runway expanded? Okay. So the only difference between this vote and the other night in Sydney is that one person wanted it. But the Sydney crowd, nobody put their hand up. I feel like it's a bit lopsided, but that it confirms what people in Sydney felt too. So I think that's very interesting. We can keep an eye on it. It's something where I think governments need to listen to what people want. The question of the economics of it, though, I'm very mindful of the fact that a lot of people I respect think it would be really important to help tourism in this area. So on the other hand, you can land in Vancouver and be here pretty fast on the ferry. So, you know, there we go. There's your hand.
I did. Just to get back to the food